Hey there everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Tony Viz, the Tone. I'm just here to give my Raw recap from last night's show. Overall, I thought it was a run-of-the-mill kind of show. I guess it was a run-of-the-mill show. There was a lot of hit and miss on the show. There was some stuff I liked on there, some stuff I wasn't really into. So, I guess I'll just get right into it. They start the show off by, they showed the still shots of the Cena Lesnar match from Extreme Rules, which I heard was a really awesome match. And and they showed the Cena's post-match promo. Which, by the way, I heard that after that happened at Extreme Rules backstage, Lesnar blew up because Cena cut that promo, and so I think last night was something that last night's angle was actually turned away to write him off TV for a bit. But at the start of the show, they showed that, and they also showed a graphic of Monday Night Raw starring Brock Lesnar, which I thought was kind of fun, which I thought was kind of cool. So then, anyway, the actual show itself started with John Laurinaitis coming out and saying that thanks to People Power, or whatever, he revolutionized WWE for the fans and for People Power, whatever, saying fans should thank him for bringing Brock in, and he talks about the beating that Lesnar gave Cena, showing that Cena's a mere mortal or whatever, and then Lesnar brought legitimacy back to WWE. Brock comes out and he says that at the pay-per-view the world saw him bring the pain firsthand to Cena, and then he did what he said he was going to do, and that was give Cena one of the worst beatings he ever got, pretty much. And then Johnny says this is why Lesnar's the new face of WWE. And then, time to play the game. Triple H comes out in the COO suit and says that he's out there to do what Laurinaitis doesn't have the guts to do. And then Hunter tells Lesnar that his days of holding WWE or making demands and stuff are through. He won't be getting the private jet and the private limo and that kind of stuff. And he won't be getting any special treatment. And he said the name of the show will always be Monday Night Raw without Lesnar's name in it. He's like, no one's bigger than WWE, no one's bigger than Monday Night Raw. He said that Lesnar will get everything that was in the original contract that Triple H himself approved of, not the ones that Lesnar demanded from Johnny Laurinaitis on Raw last week. And then Johnny Ace says that isn't right that they go back on their word. I think Triple H rips up the contract or whatever, the one that Lesnar had demands in. And then he says that Lesnar won't be getting any of those demands he was talking about last Monday, and he says that if he says he wants Brock Lesnar in WWE, and so do the fans. He said they might not all they might not all like Lesnar, fans and people backstage, what have you, but they want to see him and Cena in a rematch. He was saying they want to see Lesnar face CM Punk, Sheamus, and Randy Orton. Which, I have a feeling that eventually they're going to do Punk and Lesnar, and Lesnar's going to win the belt. Not that I want to see him be champion because he doesn't need the belt, but I have a feeling that's what they're going to do. Then he pretty much tells Brock that it's like, okay, if you want to take your ball and go home, blah blah blah. Kind of referencing what he did back in 2004. And he was saying that's okay with him. Then Johnny Ace says that it's not fair to put Brock in this position. Triple H tells Laurinaitis that this is between him and Lesnar, and Hunter tells Lesnar that the original terms were more than fair that they came up with, and then Ace says that Triple H isn't being reasonable, and Triple H just tells Laurinaitis to shut up, and then he says to Brock Lesnar that he wants him in WWE. And so he's sorry about that. I'm losing my mind. Then Johnny Ace says that Hunter is being disrespectful, and being disrespectful to Brock, and they might have to take it up with the board of directors. Okay, whatever. Then then Triple H turns around to face he turns to Johnny Ace, and then as he's about to chew him out, Lesnar attacks Triple H from behind. So then he attacks Triple H, beats him in the corner for a bit. Triple H fought back a bit, but then eventually Lesnar got the Kimura arm lock on Triple H. I think the same move he used on Cena at Extreme Rules, and he broke Hunter's arm. So then you have the baby faces coming out. You have Big Show, Sheamus, Kofi Kingston, and R-Truth coming out. Brock leaves the ring. He's all pissed. He throws the stairs down and shit like that. And medics come in and check on Triple H, and Hunter saying his arm might be broken. And then the faces, they help Triple H up. Lesnar walks up the ramp. Show was telling Hunter that he's got to, that he knows he's got to set balls on him or whatever, and they help Triple H out of the ring. I didn't really care for this segment because it's like I thought Triple H and Johnny Ace, like the whole back and forth there, was too much. I mean, God knows we've seen a lot of Triple H over the years taking up TV time, and Johnny Ace is not really doing much. His character is so freaking boring. I've had it. I don't like it. But also what didn't make any sense was that it's like we're supposed to just forget the whole thing that it's like Laurinaitis got Triple H dethroned as the GM of Raw last summer or whatever, and then we're also apparently supposed to forget that Triple H and Sheamus were in a heated rivalry a couple of years back. Since it's logic and continuity to me took a back seat here, just like it always does. Okay, so then they show Hunter being checked out by medics backstage, and Hunter saying he can't move his elbow. Okay, so this is another story. Like I say, I was hoping we don't get Triple H versus Brock Lesnar, because I don't think we need to see that. But I don't know after what I heard about him, Lesnar blowing up at Extreme Rules backstage after the show. It looks like it doesn't look like we're going to see that. So then Eve comes out and says that there's going to be a beat the clock challenge, 5 matches. The winner challenges CM Punk and over the limit. First match starts next. Eve sucks. I'm just sorry. It's like as this whole executive now they got her with the glasses. Doing the whole Tracy Brooke test marker bit. And it's just like it doesn't work for me. So the first match was a rematch from the YouTube pre-show match. From the YouTube pre-show on Sunday, Santino versus The Miz in the first of the Beat the Clock challenge. It was okay. It was a decent match. Miz won the match in just a little over 4 minutes, 14 actually. Decent match, but you knew right away there was no way in hell Miz was going to be the guy getting the title shot. Then we have a triple threat match where at the Extreme Rules, Layla returned and beat Nikki Bella for the Divas Championship. And so last night, was Layla versus both Bellas in a 3-way. The Bellas argue, Layla drop kicks them into each other, one falls out of the ring, and then she rolls up the other one, gets the pin. That was really fast. If you blink, you missed it. Not much to it, there wasn't much to it. I know that the Bellas' contracts ended last night. They didn't resign. And I know that originally the plan was to have Karma come and flatten them out. But since word of that leaked out online, they decided to change the plan. They decided, got to change the plan since word leaked out. I really hate when wrestling companies do that. So the Bellas are done, and that's pretty much it. There wasn't really much to it. Okay, then we go to second Beat the Clock match. Big Show and Chris Jericho. Good solid match. They did a spot, they were both outside the ring. Big Show was going to kick Jericho, but Jericho moved out of the way, and Show fell over part of the barrier, and the ref was counting them out. Ref counted to 10, and Jericho got back in the ring just as the clock ran out. But the ref raised Jericho's hand, saying he beat the clock, and there was a little bit of controversy over it. So then they said they were going to review it or whatever. So then they take a break, and they're going to come back, and then they just have Michael Cole announce that Jericho didn't make it back in time, didn't make it back in the ring in time. So Miz is still the guy with the time to beat. Okay, then it's time for the Funkasaurus. Good God, and he squashed JTG. You know, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't know if they're going to do anything more with Brodus than having to just squash low-level guys. So that was it. You know, that gimmick is awful. I'm sorry, I can't stand it. So then they have Eve and Johnny Ace backstage in his office, and Teddy Long is there, and Eve tells Long that his presence is upsetting Johnny Ace. She kicks him out. Then Eve tells Ace that she said that he needs to make a decision to figure out what kind of leader he's going to be for WWE. She asks him who his next opponent's going to be, who Cena's next opponent will be, and Ace says he knows who it's going to be, and he knows that Cena isn't going to like it. Whatever, lame segment. I didn't care for it. Those Johnny Ace and Eve character is just they don't work for me. So then we go to the next Beat the Clock match. And to me, it was the best match on the show. Randy Orton and Jack Swagger. Good back and forth match. I think they did some good stuff here. Orton got the pin in 4:16, so now he's got the time to beat. So now he had the time to beat. So then we go to WWE Tag Title match. Primo and Epico defending against R-Truth and Kofi Kingston. Kofi and Truth win. They win the belts. Kofi pins Epico after the Trouble in Paradise. I think Rose distracted the referee, but that backfired, and then Kofi wound up getting the pin. And so decent back and forth match there. And I had a feeling that Kofi and Truth were going to win the tag titles since it's and I was right. And then Primo and Epico losing the titles led to them arguing backstage about losing the belts, and then Abraham Washington, W, coming in saying that if he'd been managing them, they wouldn't have lost the belts. And so that was kind of a tip that I knew that Kofi and Truth were going to win the belts since they were going to follow up more with this. But then Abraham Washington, W, whatever the hell you want to call him, saying that that they wouldn't have lost the belts if he was managing them, and then he was actually saying more, but then they cut away to the ring where Khali's in there, and it's time for the next Beat the Clock challenge, Khali versus Kane. But it's like I just thought this was ridiculous. It's like as AW was talking, it's like they just cut away. It's like great way to emphasize that none of these guys have any meaning. So great Khali, Kane, Beat the Clock. This was painful. The clock ran out. The match went to so it went to the draw. So neither one of those guys are going to be there. Because match is what you would expect from Khali and Kane. So then afterwards, Kane chokeslams Khali, and that was pretty much it. Then we have our final Beat the Clock challenge match. Daniel Bryan and he went up against Jerry the King Lawler. Kind of surprising. So Daniel Bryan got the win. It was good back. It was decent. It was nice to see Lawler in the ring again. You knew Daniel was gonna win, and so he gets the yes lock on Jerry Lawler, and then Danielson wins the Beat the Clock challenge, and they're going to be doing him versus Punk at Over the Limit for the WWE title, which works for me because like I said, the two former Ring of Honor guys, Ring of Honor champions, and what have you, are going to be hopefully main eventing a WWE pay-per-view. So then after Daniel Bryan won the match, Punk came out on the stage, just applauds Daniel Bryan, holds the title over his head like that, and then Daniel does the yes chant at the same time, and it was good. I thought that Punk coming out on the stage and then doing that was kind of cool. So so like I said, Punk Bryan for the title works for me. Then we go to our, the main event segment or whatever. John Cena comes out, his arm's in the sling, after being attacked by, after being beaten down by Brock Lesnar last night. But despite the broken arm, he still manages to come out and be all smiles and do the salute and the superhero stuff and talking to the camera and say, "Hey, I made it, I'm here, hey!" And then he kind talks about with Triple H's arm being broken and stuff. He mentions that his is too, but he'll be okay, blah, blah, blah. And he says that there's, then he does more of the usual, typical Cena cartoony superhero promos, and it was just like, it's like, it's just so stupid, it's just like, in the storyline, it's like the guy got his arm broken by Brock Lesnar, and then he's out there cutting his usual stupid promos. It was just like, wow, are you kidding me? So then, Johnny Ace came out, and that was when Cena was doing his usual shit. And Cena was saying there's a difference between being injured and being hurt. Being injured is when you get sent home and can't do what you want and can't do what you want to do or whatever. But being hurt means you might ache, but you can still be on the show or whatever. If Cena's got his arm in a sling and it's broken, that's not an injury? So whatever. Then Johnny Ace says that he can make Cena's life difficult or whatever, or more difficult. And Cena was saying that it's like he just had a grueling match against Brock Lesnar. It's like how more difficult can it be? And then Johnny Ace says that he was going to say who Cena will be facing it over the limit. Out comes Lord Tensai, and he gets in the ring, and then Johnny Ace hits Cena in the back of the head with the microphone, and then Ace tells him that he himself will be facing John Cena at Over the Limit. And I immediately was like, huh? So I thought we were either going to get a Cena-Lesnar rematch, or we're going to get Cena and Albert Tensai. But, so it's like, I don't know. So then, they beat down Cena. Tensai goes with a senton splash on Cena's broken arm. Laurinaitis yanks the sling off, and then they hold Cena's arm by the turnbuckle post, and then Ace stomps on it. Then he gets a chair, smashes it over Cena's busted arm, and even Michael Cole was like, he ditched the heel character. It was like, well, man, everyone go crazy around here, So then Johnny Ace just pretty much, he just stands over Cena, taunting him a little bit, walks out. And Cena sells the arm injury, and Ace walks up the ramp, and that ends the show. I thought the whole segment was still, it didn't work for me. Like I say, Cena, with a broken arm and everything, it's still being the typical cartoon superhero kind of character. It's like you said, and like I said, he has a broken arm, and he says that he's hurt and not injured. I don't know. But anyway, so the rest of this was the only good part about it is that it's like Cena just had to they had Cena actually sell an injury instead of doing the standing tall fit at the end of the show. But if they're trying to do another Austin Vince program here, it's not going to be good. It's not going to work. So overall, I thought the show was kind of run of the mill. Like I say, there was. The opening segment I wasn't into. I just thought that Triple H and Johnny Ace spoke just talked too much. I guess I'm just, I just get tired of hearing them talk all the time. Lesnar breaking Triple H's arm, and I thought that part was alright. I thought that part was good, and then, that kind of stuff. But I wasn't really into the whole opening segment. The end I wasn't into either. Just because Cena was telling the same stupid cartoon promos. You're saying, oh yeah, hey Johnny Ace, you had a no-holds-barred flashback, and you got me facing Zeus. It was a little funny, but if you know what he was talking about, but still, it was whatever. Beat the Clock was all right. There were worse ways to come up with a challenger, but Orton Swagger out of the Beat the Clock matches, Orton Swagger was the best one. Khali and Kane, of course, the worst. Jericho Big Show was good. It was solid for what it was. Santino, Miz, okay. It was alright, I knew Miz was winning, and of course I knew he wasn't going to be the guy to get the title shot. And seeing Jerry Lawler over Daniel Bryan was alright too. And, like I said, the tag titles, I had a feeling Kofi Truth were going to win them to further the storyline with AW trying to manage Primo and Epico and Rosa. But, the backstage, like I said, the backstage bit really showed how much these guys don't matter when AW is still talking and they just cut away to the ring. And of course, the Divas match was way too short to be of anything. To be of anything. The Bellas are done with WWE for now. Actually, well, I hope they're just done. Period. You know, I don't want to see. Tour magic and everything. That all got stale right away. And of course, Borges Clay's gimmick continues to suck. So overall, I thought it was a mediocre show, in my opinion. You know. So anyway, so that'll do it. That's the show. Hopefully, I'll be back on Friday with a post-Impact video. Sorry I didn't get around to doing a SmackDown one over the weekend. I just didn't get around to it. Sorry about that. But that'll do it. So, like I said, you know, you can feel free to leave a comment on my YouTube channel, The Tone 4L, and you can check out my written blog on the show at tonyfizz.blogspot.com, and that'll do it. And so until hopefully on Friday when I'll be back with an Impact show, this is The Tone, Tony Fizz. Take care, everybody.